You look at it from the Egypt perspective, no Mohamed Salah. Interesting thoughts coming from the coach afterwards, suggesting that they just couldn't risk his shoulder.
Well, he was basically saying we are just resting it all on the second.
Yeah, the two games. He came out and he said we were quite certain in the training session that he would be able to play. At the end of the training session, he was examined by the doctor, and there was some doubt. If he fell or he was hit by another player, we thought he might get another injury. So we decided not to take that risk. We want to be sure that we can have him on top form against Russia and Saudi Arabia. It doesn't seem that big a time period between now and the next game. 3 days, isn't it?
3 days.
So then suddenly everything's going to be all right again?
Yeah. Not in 3 days. Maybe a week. Anyway, we talked about it yesterday, saying this is what he might do. He might not forfeit the Uruguay game, but maybe go without him, just try and dog it out, which they almost did for a point. But it didn't work out. So
apparently it's 5 days. That's my mistake.
Yeah, I was sorry, because when I was thinking that, I was thinking, I'm sure we got more rest in between games back in 1990.
Time zones.
We go and enjoy ourselves a little bit in between the games. But yeah, so he's got 5 days. But anyway, he's put everything now in the one pot.
Right.
He's saying we're targeting the Russia and the Saudi Arabia games, yeah. And that's the way we're going to do it.
We're disappointed he didn't play, but I think there's more to it. I'm not sure he is going to play in the next game. If they are saying that he's not fit for this game, how can you then be fit 5 days later? I mean, I think he's got a bigger problem than that.
But we talked before, Ali made the point that Uruguay, are a rough team, you know what you're going to get from them. So maybe he is literally wrapping him in cotton wool.
He's got to play him. But by that statement, he has to play him, because in that statement he said, if he gets knocked over or hit by another player, so the injury's not going to... There is no injury problem unless he is physically getting in an issue with a player and he goes down. That might not happen.
Unfortunately, football's a contact game, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's a World Cup. They haven't been to one since God knows how long. He might never be back at one again. There is no injury unless he hits the ground, and then it's a maybe. He has to play.
And they were saying that they made the decision, not him.
What is clear is that he wasn't right to play. Because if there was any chance for him to be on the field, this game actually had all the opportunities for him to come on. When Uruguay was pushing forward, they knew they needed the 3 points. They deserved the 3 points. They were getting after. All of a sudden, Godin is taking long runs, playing up top and being a presence in the attack. You wouldn't see that from Uruguay. Sometimes they got disorganized. That was the moment to bring Mohamed Salah onto the field, because he gives you a change of pace. So clearly, he was not right to play. I just don't see how, if you're not right to play now, you're all of a sudden touched by a miracle and you're able to play and able to make an impact. It's one thing to be on the field, but then make an impact for Egypt. I don't think, I've been saying it all along, I don't think he will trust his body to do the things that he was able to do with Liverpool, with Egypt in this tournament.
They have it all to do. When you take a look at the group, 3 points behind, you've got to win against Russia and Saudi Arabia. You're confident that they can do it?
Who?
Egypt.
No. I always thought it was going to be a dogfight between them and Russia.
But you picked them.
Yeah, I'm not confident they're going to do it, because they're not a great side, but neither are Russia. I think that was sort of papered over a bit by how bad Saudi Arabia were. I think Egypt, grinding it out for as long as they did without Mo Salah against a good Uruguayan side, although they missed chances, shows that they've at least got something. But the whole Salah thing for me is I can't get my head around. He cannot do what he's doing and did do for Egypt in the next 2 games that he did for Liverpool. The only issue I see is if somebody absolutely smashes into him and he goes to ground.
Right.
Now, he's got to get that out of his head. And if that's a problem for him, don't play.
Is he bottling it?
Not if he plays the next 2 games.
Right.
And he does well and they win. But the question is he prepared to take a potential injury to play in the World Cup for his country? Right? Because he can play. It's whether or not the shoulder's going to stand up to somebody smashing into him. That's a risk I would take, just to play in the damn thing.